All right. Hello, everyone. Um, Months and months ago, I did a ranking of every single like Deltarune song for chapters 1 through 4, and I made a separate video for each one, and each one was like an hour long. So today we're just gonna do the same thing for chapter 5. Uh, yeah. It's just gonna be pretty much the same thing. I have listened to all the Chapter 5 soundtracks enough to the point where I feel like I can accurately rate them on a tier list, just like I listened to all of the songs in the other 4 chapters enough to really rank them accurately. So, yeah. Um, but I feel like there's a couple things I want to change. So, first of all, I feel like since I made my Chapter 4 ranking video like months and months ago, I think it's been like 7 months at this point. I could be wrong. But it's been a while, and in the time since I've made that, I have thought about my tiers a little bit, and I feel like I've definitely treated a lot of these bottom songs a little too fairly. Like I think I've given some of these a little more credit than I should have. So I'm gonna move some of these up to A, and I'm gonna move some of these down into B, and then I might move some of the ones in B down into C. So I'm just gonna do that real quick, and then we're gonna go with chapter 5. So because I feel like I've treated a little some of these a little too fairly, and it's okay for me to be a little harsher on some of the ones that don't really matter to me as much. But yeah, a lot of the ones in A are gonna stay in A. I don't really have any issues with those. A minus though, I'm gonna move some of them down. I'm gonna move some of them up. So I'm very bad. It's still pretty funny, but like I don't know. It's just kind of like a B plus song. I think it's good as a joke, and like a lot of these, the only reason I'm putting them in A tier is because I think the joke surrounding them is funny, and I think that's kind of valid enough reasoning for that. So yeah, I'm very bad. We'll go in B plus. Fanfare. I feel like Fanfare deserves A. I like Fanfare. It's cool. Metaphysical challenge that deserves A, and I will reorder these at the end. So this is not final. I will reorder these, including all the chapter 5 soundtracks. Birdly rejected concept. It's funny. I'm putting it in A. I'm sorry. Uh, 12 a.m. Yeah, I really like 12 a.m. actually. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Mysterious ringing. That's B tier. Sorry. Chill jailbreak alarm to steady and relax to. Gonna have to go B tier on this one. I don't really care for it. It's just spook tune, but in like a rap form. I don't know. I don't really like it very much. I'm sorry. Um, C. I feel like it's a really good like atmospheric track. Um, I feel like it works really well in context. I think A tier is justified for it because like I'm not just looking at the songs themselves. I'm also looking at the context. If I was just looking at the songs, a lot of these would probably be lower. But you know, Digital Roots. Yeah, that's B. Sorry. Dig Dig to the Center of the Earth. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's like, haha, you just got lancered. I like it. I'm putting it in A tier. I'm sorry. Let's see. Almost to the Guys. I like it. I actually like the DJs. I actually like the DJs' music. I'm sorry. I'm putting it in A tier. This one's also funny. I'm putting it in A tier. I'm sorry. Uh, Dump. Yeah, I don't really care that much for Dump. I'm sorry. I mean, like, it's good enough for what it is. I'm not like a big fan of it. I'm putting it in B tier. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Keygen. I feel like that's also kind of B tier. Bitroots. I don't care for Bitroots that much. I don't know. I don't know. I think B tier. I'm gonna put in B tier. Northern Light. Northern Light is a little less jarring. I think it's a little scarier. I think it's deserving enough of A tier. I'm gonna put in A tier. Aram, and yes, that is how I pronounce it. B tier. So we're gonna get rid of A minus tier because I think it's like a little too generous. I think that B tier, being as small as it was a little annoying. I feel like there's infinitely more songs. Well, not infinitely more, but I feel like there's a lot more songs in Deltarune that are deserving of B tier than I originally thought. So we're also going to put some down in B tier. I don't know about a C tier yet. We might, like I said, we might put some songs in C tier, but let's see. So uh Aram, B tier, Bitroots. I think B plus is deserved. Cliffs will stay in B plus. Kijin will stay in B plus. Dump will go at least a little closer to the top because it's not bad. It's good. It's good enough for what it is. Crickets works for what it is. I'll just leave it there. Weird Birds is just kind of funny. Hey Every is kind of, I don't know. Like I kind of like Hey Every in its own little way. I'm Very Bad is funny. I like it. I'm sorry. Mysterious Ringing is just, it's just mysterious ringing. That's all it is. I'm gonna, I'll put it right here. Uh, Jailbreak Alarm. Guess I'll put it over Hey Every. That's all I'm gonna do with it. Digital Roots. I mean, it's good for atmosphere, but not really for anything else. I'll put it here. And then we have B tier, which just consists of Cool Beat and Aram. Aram ultimately is the better, and technically Concert for You. I mean, Concert for You is just one chord, so I'm actually just gonna leave it in Concert for You tier. If we come across a song in chapter 5 that is deserving of the same tier as Concert for You, I will put it in there, but I don't think that'll be necessary. And this is not final, but I did ultimately want to expand both the A and B tiers and just get rid of A minus because I don't think it's like really necessary. But yeah, this is pretty much what the B tier is probably going to look like by the end. And we also have chapter 5. So uh, let's actually get into chapter 5 now. So the logo, it's just Deltarune, like that's it. I guess it's kind of funny, um, but it's just kind of Deltarune, like that's all it is. None of the other chapter logos like count as a soundtrack. It's just this one. Like I don't think chapter fours. I don't. I no. I don't believe chapter fours is in the OST. This one is though. Uh, B plus maybe. I feel like it's funny enough to deserve A tier. I feel like it's funny enough to deserve A tier. I'm gonna put it in A tier, and I think I don't know. I think it's slightly deserving of A tier because it's just kind of cool for what it is, I guess. Um, Inappropriate recycling. I actually really enjoy inappropriate recycling. I really like the Trashy Trio mini boss fight. I like how this is just checker dance, but like it honestly goes a lot harder than checker dance and also adds the freedom motif just for just for the fun of it. I like inappropriate recycling a good amount. Uh, I think A plus is fair for it. I'm not gonna put it any higher. Uh, let's see. Probably below the songs that I like more for sure. Let's see. Huh. Where do I put it? I think there is maybe above powers combined. I think that's a good spot for it. Pirate Dojo. I Pirate Dojo is really funny to me. I do low key hate what they did with the dojo after chapter 2. So in chapters 4 and 5, they kind of just like massacred it. So now there's only like one challenge, and you don't even get to retry any challenges from previous chapters. But when you enter the dojo, this sick jam will be playing Pirate Dojo, the ultimate soundtrack. It is peak. Unironically, like I really like Pirate Dojo. I like all the memes associated with it, and like Gaster and whatever, like Pirate Gaster, like Chips Ahoy, landlubbers. Like it's just really funny to me for some reason. Like the Gaster pirate thing is probably one of my favorite Deltarune jokes. I don't really know why, because humor is subjective, I guess, but it's just really funny to me. Let's see, definitely. I think just above its pronounced rules because they're both pirate themes. I feel like it's a good placement for it. I think that's where Pirate Dojo ultimately deserves to go. Fort Sanctuary, I actually kind of don't like Ford Sanctuary. I get it's mostly just supposed to be a joke about like the time signature joke from the previous songs, like the Sanctuary themes, like every new Sanctuary theme gives a little. It's a little weirder with like the time signatures, and Ford Sanctuary cranks that up to the max. But I don't think it sounds very good personally. Like I think it's like a little jarring to hear, which is very rare for me to say from Deltarune songs. Now there are a lot of like lower soundtracks that are kind of jarring, but it's in like kind of a funny way. But I feel like this one is like supposed to be a joke, but also like an actual song that Toby is taking a little more seriously than a lot of these other quote unquote joke songs. I don't really like it though. I think it's a little bit jarring. I'm not gonna put it in B tier because there are a couple parts that I kind of like in it. I'm gonna put it in A tier. There are some parts that that I genuinely like in Ford Sanctuary, but I'm not gonna put it very high. I think maybe here. I think that's where I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Um, now we get to all the Noel motif songs. There's a lot of Noel motif songs in this chapter. Festival is the first one of them. Yeah, it's pretty good. It definitely gives me festival vibes. But just by listening to it, I really like how there's like kind of like this windy section of the track that's like it just really gives you the vibes of like being there on that day, participating in the festival. Now personally, I was not the biggest fan of the festival when I actually played the chapter. I think that it was like a little bit slightly underwhelming. I think all the Suzelle scenes were pretty good. I think that the character interactions were all pretty good, but there weren't really any mini games, and it was kind of short. Like for all the build up it got. Like I feel like if it got less build up, it probably would have been pretty cool. But like I don't know. I feel like the fact that it was built up so much only for like almost nothing to happen during it was kind of depressing in my opinion. So yeah, I feel like that kind of rubs off on the track a little bit too, but it's still really good. It does bring back motifs we've already heard, so that hurts it a little bit, but not very much because it's still pretty good, like just as a song. So, uh, I think A plus is pretty good for it. I think it deserves A plus. I think that's now I like Hip Shot more than it. I think that's a good place for it. Yay! And now we have two meme songs that I don't care for. Catfession is ultimately the one I prefer because I like the meow sound effect more than like the baby sound effect. But yeah, it's just Confession from Undertale, but like with these slightly annoying sound effects. And the cutscenes associated with it is kind of funny. I mean, humor is very subjective, so you might think these things really funny. I just kind of thought that the Pizza Pants scenes kind of dragged on. Like no matter which character you choose, I feel like Pizza Pants, like every scene with Pizza Pants in Deltarune just kind of drags on. So that definitely lessens my opinion of these songs overall. So uh I think bottom of B plus is where I'm gonna put Catfession because I ultimately do like it more, but I feel like I feel like Bratfession is so like jarring to my ears and just like I don't like it. I'm sorry. I think it low key might be my least favorite song in this entire video game. Like genuinely, like I'm actually being serious. Because this one's just a beat. Like it's not even a song. It's just a beat, and this one's just like a barely ominous, like trill or whatever. But like I mean, no, Bratfession just has nothing. Like there is just nothing there. Like I don't even think it's really that funny. I just think it's kind of annoying to listen to. I mean, you can disagree obviously if you want to, but I I don't know. Like at least Concert for You is just kind of like a meme tier. Ultimately, I would if I was actually being serious, I would probably just put it at the very bottom of B tier because it at least is kind of funny as a meme, just like a lot of the other songs that I'm not putting very high. Like they're at least funny as jokes, even if they're not good as soundtracks. So I'm attributing bias to them in that way, but Bratfession just kind of has nothing, so I'm just gonna put it at the very bottom. Meanwhile, Catfession, I at least like it a little more, so I'm gonna put it there. And now we have an actual really good song. I guess I'm in Love is a really 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 good soundtrack. Um, really enjoy it. I like the Suzelle scene. I think it's really cool. Um, I I mean I don't really have that much more else to say about this scene that people haven't already said. I think it's a really sweet scene between Susie and Noelle, and it really made me care about their relationship a lot more than I did at first. I think it's like I think like it's being rushed a little bit, but for good lore reasons because of the fact that Susie knows that the end is coming, so she's trying to like rush her relationship with Noelle, even though she'd probably rather not do that. And like she's also kind of like forcing her feelings to be greater, like a little sooner than she probably otherwise would. But like I don't know, I still think that these scenes work. I still think that they're pretty fun and sweet. I feel like the pacing is good. I feel like they're enjoyable to watch, and the music is very good. I like it. I really just there's so many things like it. This is like the second song in the chapter that uses like the Noel motif, and which is also the Friends motif, I suppose. It's kind of the same thing. I associate it with more with Girl Next Door though. But yeah, it's very good. I think I'm gonna put it in S tier. I really like this one. Probably not above anything in S tier because I feel like I like the other. I feel like I like all the other songs that I put in S tier more ultimately. But like, yeah, I guess I'm in love is pretty good. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of S tier. Weirder Birds. It's just Weird Birds, but weirder, and it's also slowed down. There's not much to say about it that I didn't already say about Weird Birds. I guess it's kind of funny. Uh, I'll put it in the same spot as Weird Birds because I don't really have any feelings toward it that I didn't already have toward Weird Birds. I think Weird Birds is just kind of like funny as like a joke soundtrack, so it gets B plus. Weirder Birds is the same thing. I'm not putting it any higher. Sorry, Weirder Birds fans if those people exist. Um, I actually do really like your dad's best friend though. That 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 last sentence was absolutely horrid out of context. But yeah, the soundtrack, your dad's best friend, is really cool. I like the flowery motif. I like how it appears like all throughout the chapter. I think this song is cool, like well made. I like all the instrumentation. I mean, I'm not talking about the instrumentation for every single song, obviously, but because then we'd be here for like 10 hours if I was like going deep into each one. I'm just kind of giving like a general consensus, like a personal consensus on each one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think it's catchy. I like the drums in it. I can remember the drums specifically in this one more than like a lot of the other soundtracks for whatever reason. Um, where the heck did it go? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where. Oh, yeah, it's very late at night. I apologize. It is very late at night. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think it works for Flowery just as like a character that's portrayed for humor at first, but then he becomes like slowly more serious, and then this one isn't used as much anymore. It's just like so it's like supposed to show that he's like trying to distract Asgore, and he's like supposed to be hateable. All the characters hate him, and then they grow to like him. Even Rouse grows to like him, so I think it works for that. I know a lot of people who also kind of hated Flowery at first and then started to like him over the course of the chapter. Personally, I liked Flowery from the start. I mean, like, I kind of get where the hate comes from on him, but I always liked him. I thought he was just kind of funny, and then he actually turned into like a heartfelt character. So yeah, but I think this one might be A tier just because I feel like I like the A plus tier songs more generally. I'm gonna put it above Glowing Snow. I do like it though. I think it's pretty cool. Um, Okay, so we have our first true banger, Garden of Hopes and Dreams. I absolutely love a lot. I really like Garden of Hopes and Dreams. I'm surprised people haven't been talking about this one more. I think it's like a really well done remix slash remake of Field of Hopes and Dreams, and I really like Field of Hopes and Dreams. I still ultimately think that Field of Hopes and Dreams is the superior of both of these two songs, but Garden of Hopes and Dreams, I really enjoy it. I really like Insane in the Rain Music's videos and covers, and I think it's cool for Toby to use one of his fan covers once in a while. I don't think he should. I don't think he should start doing that for every song. Chapter 5 specifically has a lot of like collaborative covers and like collaborative soundtracks. I think it's cool to do that just like on occasion, but I think that if he did it too much, it'd be bad. But I think he's just doing it the right amount. So I think it's being done pretty well. Garden of Hopes and Dreams is no exception. I really like how whenever you first enter the garden area, it's like it looks like the field, and then it transitions into pink, and then the sound like the soundtrack starts, and it's like really just like it like immediately makes you feel nostalgic for the field because of because it's like being set up as like kind of nostalgia bait for the melody of Field of Hopes and Dreams, but it works so well. I like how it's like a jazzy version of the original. Like I don't know if it technically qualifies as like smooth jazz, but it's like I really like how it's, you know, just like I love the instrumentation. I love how it just all comes together. It changes up the melody just the right amount. I think that like I really like the intro section of it. I think it's really just like it really just gets you hyped for for this entire chapter of the game. So yeah, it is really good, and I really hope other people feel the same way on this. I haven't really seen people talk about this one that much, but I think it is really awesome. I do think that the original Field of Hopes and Dreams is ever so slightly better, probably partially because of like nostalgia bias and just because of like, you know, like I just feel like some of it's like a little discouraging that some of like the melody lines weren't finished. But I think that overall it is really good. And the only thing I would say is he should have added two more soundtracks before this one, so this could be number 13, and they could both be soundtrack number 13 in their chapter. I think that would have been a pretty cool callback, but it's close enough. So yeah, very good song. I love it. Rakuichi Buster is pretty cool. I like how it's like basically the full version of that one trailer theme for that was used for chapter 2 way back when. I like how it's basically like an orchestral version of Rude Buster, and it really makes me just like think about like I kind of wonder why the other chapters, like besides 3 and 4 and 5, like because 3 and 4 and 5 they all have like kind of their own version of Rude Buster that they put out. Like chapter 3 has Vapor Buster and Ruder Buster, but they're not really used for every battle. They're kind of just used sparingly, and I think that was a decent way to handle it because there aren't too many battles in that chapter, all things considered. I like how chapter 5 has its own unique battle theme, though. I also think that works for chapter 4, but chapter 2 is probably the one chapter where I think it really could have benefited off of like a chiptune buster that it didn't have. So chapter 2 is probably the only instance I think that it was like underutilized for like a new rude buster, but I think it works, especially since like it was the first chapter after the demo, like the first demo, so it was like, you know, it was nice for what it is, and it maybe it would have been too quick to change up Rude Buster. But let's talk about Rakuichi. So yeah, it's pretty good. I really like the section at the end where it just like kind of goes crazy, like it adds a little bit onto the original track. It absolutely goes wild. Um, like I really like it. I think it's an easy S tier. Where did I put the original? Um, Rude Buster S plus. Uh, I think I still prefer the original Rude Buster, probably due to nostalgia. I think it goes a little harder, but I do really like the orchestral version. I really like the section at the end. I think I'm gonna put it like over some of these for sure. Not too high. I think I'm gonna put it there. So I do think that it is a little bit inferior to the original Rude Buster, but it is pretty cool. So yeah, I really hope that people like it as well. Diner Song of Best Friends is kind of just Friends, but like instead of the piano, it's just like the saxophone, and it sounds worse. Now I know that this scene is just played for nostalgia and humor with like Asgore and Flowery, but it's like kind of like a little bit, I don't know. Whenever I first heard it, it was like a little bit more stale. I feel like it might have been a little more heart. Like if they were going for memes and humor, I think this was a good option. But if they were going for a more heartfelt scene, I feel like the original Friends would have worked better. Personally, I don't really care for this one very much. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Um, yeah, below Airwaves. I think that yeah, that I'm not gonna put it any higher. And as you can see, I put the original Friends in S tier. I just think that Friends is way more heartfelt, especially with like Chris and Susie in like all their genuine friend conversations. It is so it was so heartwarming to see for the first time. I loved the diner scene. It was so awesome. And then we have Diner Song of Best Friends, which is just the same thing, but like with worse instruments, in my opinion, and also just like a scene that's more played for humor. So yeah, I don't really care for Diner Song of Best Friends. Sorry. Like normally when a song sounds the same like that, I like to put it in the same general spot as a song that like has like the same melody but like different instrumentation. But I don't know. That's a kind of a scenario where it's like the context really influences where it goes rather than the track itself. So yeah. Now we have Ride the Board. Yeah, it's just kind of like another meme song. I don't really care for it. I think it's kind of funny how Flowery rides the board for that one scene. Um, he solves the puzzle for them. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's funny, I guess. I don't really have any strong feelings on it. I'm gonna put it in B plus, top of B plus, I guess. Like it's fine. I don't really have anything else to say about it. It works, I guess. Um, I really like Quiet Glade though. I think Quiet Glade works really well as like an atmospheric track. Um, I really like how there's like the sounds of rushing water. I think it does really well as um like I think it's superior to like Quiet Water and Quiet Autumn from previous Toby Fox works. Quiet Glade is definitely my favorite. I think it just works really well as like an atmospheric track while you're trying to solve the maze with the watering cannon. It's like kind of an actual maze, unlike the one in Chapter One. So I think that I really like I like the Quiet Glade area. I really like the Quiet Glade soundtrack. I think this one is an easy S tier for me. Um, I just really enjoy it. I'm gonna put it. I let's see. I think ultimately I would leave it here, like bottom of S. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. But yeah, I just really enjoy it in context. It's so relaxing. I and now we have Aqua. Aqua is my second favorite of the seven flowers. Flowery is my favorite because he's like a really well written character and he's funny and he's tragic and his boss fight is great. Flower Man is great. We'll get to that later. Aqua's my second favorite though. She's so like delightfully chaotic and just fun to just to watch and her boss fight's really fun. I also really like her personal flower soundtrack, Who Might You Be? It's like a really nice set of motifs that the game introduces to you. It's like it sounds really nice. I think this is also I think everyone else would probably agree with me that this is the best like version of the flower motif. Outside of Petal Dance, which is the next one, but Who Might You Be is really good. I think it's like just like a nice soundtrack, and it's like not only is she wondering who you are, but you're wondering who she is. So I think Aqua's just like a really enjoyable character, honestly. Um, Definitely S tier for me. I really really enjoy it. I'm gonna go here. I don't know. I just think it's really nice. It's a really nice soundtrack. And then we have Pedal Dance. Oh my god, Pedal Dance is so good. Like I love the melody. I love I love how it starts like super like intense. And like the first time you hear this song, like it is so masterful. Like the first time you hear the song, you associate with Aqua, and then like everyone else in the community has kind of associated Pedal Dance with Aqua as well. But it is so good. Like God, it is awesome. Like Pedal Dance, just really nice instrumentation, really nice set of motifs. I really like how it starts at like da 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 da. Like I just that is burned into my brain permanently. I love that. I also love to associate it with like Aqua's attacks and then like the da 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 da. I love that motif as well. And that is used a lot throughout the chapter as well with the other flower themes. Um, it's really good in Pedal Dance as well. And then like there's kind of like a bridge section where it's like da 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 da. Like it kind of calms down for a little bit, and it's just nice to listen to. And then there's like a bombastic like trumpets part at the end, and it is so insanely good, like good and memorable. I love it. It's like da 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 da. Like it is so good. I cannot tell you enough how freaking good Pedal Dance is. Like, oh my god. Uh Now the question is, do I put it in T tier? I don't know, dude. Like I now this is where it gets hard. Do I put it in S plus or T? I think ultimately it's like S plus, but it is, man, it is awesome. I just I definitely can only like mentally associate it with Aqua, even though it is technically the battle theme for all the flowers. But it is masterful. Like it is really good. And now we're back to like just like an atmospheric track. Flying Feather is kind of just like, it's like a nice like Japanese sort of feel. Like it's like atmospheric, like just how you're in the area with all the like with, it's kind of like windy, and then you see the quote unquote white pen of hope, which turns out to just be the pedal feather, and then it allows you to play 2D Super Paper Mario, and then suddenly the gameplay gets really good, and the best gimmick of the whole game has been introduced. And yeah, uh, Flying Feather, I guess it's cool as like an atmospheric track. I don't have much else to say about it. Uh, I'll go here. I don't really have any strong feelings towards Flying Feather. Uh, but I do have a lot of strong feelings towards Sunset of Seven Suns. Okay, this is another one where Toby absolutely cooked. Like for basically every single area theme in the game, with the exception of Cliffs and Card Castle, I think Toby absolutely cooked. Like he cooked so hard with every area theme, with the exception of a few. And Sunset of Seven Suns is definitely no exception to this either. I really love it. It is a little bit repetitive for my tastes, but like it is still really really good. I've already done piano covers of a lot of these soundtracks, and Sunset of Seven Suns is one I've done for both the older piano version and the actual in-game version. I think both of them are really good. I think I prefer the piano version a little bit just for emotion, like emotion and nostalgia reasons, like very personal reasons. But Sunset of Seven Suns is still really, really, really good. I think it works like incredibly well, like whenever you're first climbing up, and then like when the drop hits and the sun rises, and like the characters are like bounding and running and leaping over the fields, like it's so nostalgic, and it's just like it really immerses you in like the feel of the fact that this is the last fun adventure. So it does a really good job at that, and it's just so fun to listen to. My only thing is I feel like it kind of plateaus like around the middle, like whenever it goes da 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 da, and then it kind of like transitions into like a calmer version of the beginning, and then it goes into the flowery motif, which I think that's appropriate enough. I just like, I don't know, like it's still pretty good, like even at that part. But it's like I don't know, I really kind of feel like this is like the ultimate song, and then it kind of plateaus. But I still think it is really good. I think that it's an easy S tier song for me. Maybe S plus. Definitely hard to say. Maybe top of S. Below Raise Up Your Bat. I still really like Raise Up Your Bat, but yeah, Sunset of Seven Suns, really, really good. I really like it. Shop 3. So I've made a whole video about why the Secret Boss is not my favorite, but I do like the Shop 3 soundtrack. I think it's pretty good, just like, it's a little more atmospheric than your average Deltarune soundtrack, maybe, but like, I don't know. I feel like it works just like in context. I feel like it's a little inferior to like Lantern or, just like that kind of jazz, but I like it. I think it's like, it kind of immerses you in like Pink's whole backstory and whatever. So it's fun to listen to it and read her dialogue. So yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna give it A. Uh, we'll go right below Your Dad's Best Friend, but yeah, it's pretty good. I do really like Violet Tactics though. I think what's funny is that the song isn't really used like with Seth, the purple flower. It's used with Yellow and Aqua, with the battle with the two of those. Like whenever Yellow's trying to kill himself with like the ray gun and you have to stop him, that's when it plays, and it is pretty funny. It is, and it's a really cool soundtrack. Like it's like I like how it starts off like da 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 da. Like I like the melody, and then it and like transitions into like the flower motif thing, um, like the flower castle motif. Um, this might be used at another spot that I don't remember as well. And if so, I apologize, but that's kind of where I remembered it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I think it's like a cool battle theme. It's kind of like this chapter's version of Rooter Buster in a sense, maybe. Now, there's obviously Rakuichi Buster. I think this one kind of works a little more for me in that context. But yeah, I think A plus is good for it. I think that's yeah, I think that's fair enough. I like it. Flower King is one of those soundtracks that kind of makes me wish Asgore was given more to do in his own chapter. I ultimately think that what they did with Asgore in this chapter was fine. Like, I didn't really expect him to be like the final boss unless he was somehow like possessed or like heavily manipulated and, like mentally forced or like, bribed or blackmailed to fight Chris by the other flowers. That's like the only situation I could have seen him fighting Chris, but that's also his own kid, even though he wanted to kill the fountain maker, even though it was probably the knight and not Chris, even if it was Chris who made that fountain long ago. He definitely wouldn't kill them even if he knew it was them. So, but I do like Flower King as a song. I like how it finally brings back the Asgore motif. That was obviously the only choice, but yeah, it's pretty good. I could see it being used in Undertale. Um, it's kind of like this game's version of Bergen. I probably pronounced that horribly, but yeah, I like it. I like Flower King. Um, it's like Asgore's theme in Deltarune will go just above Susie. I think that's fair enough for it. Flower Foyer, I think Flower Foyer is good enough. Um, it's like uh, cause it's like more of like that Japanese feel to it. I think it's like pretty good at like getting you hyped for like both areas, like both the left wing and the right wing. You can do them out of order, so it's like there is no real like linear order in the castle, and I think that works really well with Flower Foyer. It's like, oh, there's two whole paths, and they both lead to completely different sections of the castle. I like that. When I played, I did some of the left section first, and then I went back and did the right section, and then I finished that, and then I did the left section. So it was kind of funny the way I did it compared to like everyone else, but yeah, pretty cool. I think this one works pretty well, like as an intro to the castle. I think A tier is good for it. Maybe top of A. We'll go we'll go here. I think that's maybe below glowing snow. I think that's a good spot for it. Yeah, Flower Castle's pretty good. I think it's like a little bit inferior to like some of the other like I think it's inferior to like TV World and Pandora Palace, like the other final area tracks, or some of them at least. But like, yeah, it's pretty good. Um, I don't care that much for like the instrumentation. I think it's just like it didn't really feel that much like a Deltarune song for me. And like I don't say that about many Deltarune songs, but it's still a pretty good song. I think that the melody is pretty catchy. It's also like twice as long as it should have been. Like it kind of just loops, and then like there is this there is this section where it kind of branches out and like kind of just goes all out. And like I like it. Like I think it's really like a really good like Japanese style track. I think it really works for like the atmosphere of the chapter. It's ultimately pretty cool. I think it's an S tier track. I enjoy it. Definitely not S plus. But yeah, I enjoy it. I think I'll leave it at the bottom of S tier, but yeah, Flower Castle's pretty good. Thousand Cafe Zucan is fine as well. I think it's like just kind of like a more relaxing soundtrack whenever you're in the cafe talking to people. Like I think the melody is pretty catchy, the instrumentation is pretty effective. It's nice. We'll go maybe top of A. Like, yeah, I think top of A is pretty. I think that's a pretty good spot for it. I'm telling. So I don't really care for the flower orange personally. I think orange is definitely my least favorite flower. I think she's just kind of annoying and like I don't really remember any of her lines other than like her calling the fun gang chibis and that she is telling on them for being bullies and whatever to both green and pink and that she can deal more than zero damage, but it's like I don't care about the quote unquote world's strongest human who happens to be a mouse and she can't take light teasing even though she represents bravery. I don't like this character very much. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like her theme either. I think it's the weakest of the flower themes. Uh, eh, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have a very high opinion of it at all. I'm putting it at the bottom of A because it's at least like objectively like fine. I just don't really like it very much, so I'm putting it there. It's my tier list. Sorry. All right. I actually do like Stop Criminal. I like the cowboy aesthetic of it. I think Yellow is like ultimately like a inferior version of Starlo from Undertale Yellow, but he's pretty cool. I think he serves the friend inside me role pretty well, even if he didn't really have that much importance in the chapter. I think all the stuff involving him was pretty fun. I like the trial battle with Blue. I think that battle was pretty cool. I like that gag where he's trying to kill himself, and then the fun thing he has to keep stopping him from doing that. I thought that was pretty fun. Uh, yeah, he's a cool enough character. I don't really care for his relationship with Blue that much. I just feel like it was just kind of there, and I didn't really have any feelings toward it. But I like Yellow enough as a character. He's probably my third favorite flower. I think Aqua and Flower are definitely my top two, but I think Yellow's fine. He's my third favorite. Uh, Stop Criminal. I think that ultimately, I think it's like an A tier song, maybe like just below Your Dad's Best Friend, but yeah, it's fine. I think it's cool. I don't really care for Loving Steps though. I also don't really care for Blue. I think he's just like I don't know, like he's just not that interesting to me. I don't really remember anything that he said. He was just kind of boring. Like I feel like he was trying to like enact this weird comedy slash tragedy thing, and I didn't really care for it very much. I thought he was just kind of boring as a character compared to Yellow. Like in all the flower duos, I think that there's like a flower that I like significantly more than the other. Like in the Aqua and Seth duo, I like Aqua way more. In the flowery and blue, no, in the yellow and blue duo, I like yellow way more. And in the orange and green duo, I like green way more. I kind of wish that Seth and Green had their own themes as well. But Loving Steps, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of Blue. I think that it's a little better than it's a little better than let's see, I'm Telling because I don't know. I feel like it's kind of good. It's just like a 3-4 song almost. Like I don't know. It's relaxing. I don't mind it as a song. Um uh Definitely below Stop Criminal though. I don't yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good enough spot for it. I yeah. Onsen is also just kind of like another relaxing track that I don't have strong feelings about. Yeah, I thought the scene with Ralsei and Chris is pretty cool. Like just they're just kind of hanging out in the hot tub discussing stuff. Um, I think that chapter 5 devoted a lot of time to the characters and like their relationships with each other, and I thought it worked really well. Chapter 4 was more about Susie and Gerson, and a little bit of Chris and Susie. Um, and chapters 2 and 3 also did a pretty good job with that as well. Um, but like yeah, Onsen kind of contributes to that pretty well. I think. I mean, I don't really care for it as much as I do like Glade. I don't think that it's like as enjoyable for me to listen to as Quiet Glade. Uh, Definitely A tier though. Like we'll go below Thrash Machine. I think it's cool for what it is. Uh, beautiful bath time is just it's just really funny to me. Like in context, I like I like it. I like the how the scene like where you actually find it in the first place is like really funny, and it's just like a hyper realistic like drawing of like flowery, and then it's just like I don't know. I really like the room where you actually find the where you actually discover the soundtrack in the first place. Like it's like there's so many cool secrets hidden in the 2D platforming sections, and this is one of them. And it's like it's pretty hard to get to, but you get rewarded with Lattery and this gorgeous picture of Flowery, and you also got Signery earlier in the chapter, so it's like the full package with Uri characters in this game. Um, yeah, beautiful bath times. Just I like it. It's just funny to me. I've got to put it in A tier. I just enjoy it. We'll go we'll go above Ford Sanctuary. I enjoy it for what it is. Uh, Actually maybe a little higher than that. We'll go above Diner. I think actually a little higher. Okay, I think that's a good spot for it. I think any higher would be a little bit ridiculous, but I think that's like I think that's a pretty good spot for it. Pink. So watch my 22-minute video for why I don't like this character. I don't feel like going in depth on that here when I already have, but I don't really care for the music that much. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think like it's good, but I don't care for it very much. Um, I honestly kind of prefer Pink's theme to Cutie Mimi Magic because I don't really like the Hatsune Miku lyrics very much. Sorry, I know that's probably jarring to hear for most fans. I'm not a big fan of it. Pink doesn't really have it though, to my understanding. I might be wrong. I haven't listened to like the whole thing in a while, but I do like Pink's like theme just like melodically without like the Hatsune Miku stuff. Like I think it works as like a Japanese sort of theme. I think that like I don't know. I've already explained, but I don't really like this character. I don't really like her aesthetically, but I don't know. Her music is not bad, I guess. Like I think that this is like a cool enough A tier song, like over Card Castle because I don't care for Card Castle that much. Yeah, it's fine. Uh, and now we have what is definitely going to be my most controversial take in this video. I know that most people would probably put this soundtrack at number 2 or number 1 in their list of Chapter 5 soundtracks, possibly even in the whole game if you're that crazy. I'm kidding, by the way. But, like, I don't like Cutie Mimi Magic very much. Uh, I like it for the first, like, 40 seconds. I like it melodically. I like the instrumentation. It sounds cool to me. Like, it's a really fun track. And then the Hatsune Miku lyrics start, and then I don't give a crap at all. I don't care. It becomes annoying and jarring to listen to, and then it just kind of gets worse from there. I don't care for it. I'm sorry. I don't freaking care for it. Like I apologize. I think that because I like some of it, I'm going to put it higher than I would if I didn't like any of it. But like yeah, I'm not putting it very high. Like for just the first 40 seconds, I think it's pretty good. I think it's like deserving enough of like A tier, like above we'll go above Heavy Footsteps, and like I'm not putting it any higher than that. I'm not a fan of it. I apologize. Sue me if you must. And now we have Running Sky. I absolutely adore Running Sky. I've seen some people who don't. I don't agree with them at all. I love it. It brings the game around full circle. It is so awesome melodically, like instrumentally. It is really really well crafted. It is like it has like this awesome vibe as they're like going through that area. Running Sky is probably my favorite area in the entire game just because of how riveting the 2D gameplay is, how emotional it is with the flowers. Like, did I mention the gameplay is good? The gameplay is so freaking fun, and like the I think that the gimmick with the platforming was used so incredibly well in this chapter, and I hope that they continue to use it. But especially in this area, like I think it was used like basically flawlessly. Like I absolutely love Running Sky as an area and a soundtrack. Like I just adore it. Like I don't know how to put it into words because of how freaking good I consider both the area and like the gameplay and like the soundtrack. Like it is so good. Like I love it. Like da 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 da. Like I and then it transitions into like the main melody. like of Don't Forget so well. Like this song has the most Don't Forget in it of any song in the entire game, and it works so well. It feels like it's straight up pulled out of Chapter Seven's. Like it just feels like it's pulled out of Chapter Seven, and it works so well in that sense. Like it feels like an endgame track, but it's like I just love it so much, dude. Like T tier, definitely T tier. I love it more than Garden. I love it more than Field. I do love it more than a Cyber's World. It is now here. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if I would put it higher. Like I'm not exactly sure if I'd put it higher than the Third Sanctuary. Um, I don't think I will because like I don't know. It is really good though. I think it works really well in context. I don't think there's anything it really could have done to go higher, but I just love running Sky. Like I could talk about why I love it all day, but I just it is just awesome to me. I'm sorry. Like it is awesome to me. Oh my god. Okay, where do I can't I can't. I can't. I can't. Like I'm actually gonna cry, dude. Like I can't with this one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cry. Like this one is so emotional for me. Like I'm actually like unironically. Like I'm actually being serious. Like yeah, I'm dead serious with this take. This is not a joke. I At the end of my chapter 4 video, I put concert for you at the very top as a meme. This is not a meme. I'm dead serious with this. I love I just this is the Deltarune soundtrack. This is the Deltarune soundtrack. I don't know how to say it. I could glaze it all day. The lyrics are perfect in my opinion. The instruments are perfect. It's emotional. It's riveting. I love the boss fight. That's my favorite boss fight in the entire game. I love the orange soul mechanic. I love like I love the ending section. It's so riveting. This is my like I don't, as you can see, I'm struggling to put it into words. I just adore this one. I adore this one a little too much. Like it's even better than Big Shot, which was my previous favorite song. Like this one has dethroned every song in the entire game for me. It is just like he cooked so hard on this one. Like Toby Fox cooked so hard on this one, and it's like this feels straight out. This feels pulled out of Chapter 7. Like this feels like a song that like quality wise was being saved for like the chapters one of the chapter 7 final bosses or whatever. Like there might be just one final boss, or there might be like a kind of like a slew of final bosses, kind of like Asgore and Omega Flowey, or it's just this one works so incredibly well. I love the boss fight in every single way possible. Like there's nothing I dislike about this song. There's only things that I absolutely 100% love to the fullest of my heart. I've sung this song so many times. So many of my friends love this song. This song has kind of changed my life. It is I can't put it into words. Like I'm sorry. This is my favorite song in the entire video game. It might take until chapter 7 for it to be topped. I don't know, but I love it. I freaking love it. It is awesome to me. And now we have That Day, which is pretty good. I like it. It's just kind of like my problem with that scene in general is that Asgore was definitely vague posting too much. Like I think it was kind of annoying how we didn't really talk about what happened at all. And I guess Chris knows, but it was still kind of annoying. But I think it's like a really good atmospheric track. I like how there's like a hint of Black Knife in it. Like I like how it explores Asgore's self hatred and like consumption with finding out what happened to Des, and how it is consumed him after he's been fired for something that he didn't deserve to get fired for, and that consumption eventually led to his divorce. So it's just I feel bad for him, man. Like I feel bad for him, and I like That Day. I think it's a really cool soundtrack. It is. I think that I think A plus is a good spot for it. Sorry, I'm kind of burnt out from talking about Flower Man, but I like That Day. I'm gonna put it in A plus. Dreamwatchers is another really sad soundtrack that uses like the flowery motif. I think it's just interesting to see that there are these flowers that just kind of turned into humans by being in the dark world because that's what they desire. They desire to be way more than what they are. Useless, weak flowers that only survive because of Asgore's kindness. So they want to repay Asgore, and you got to watch their dreams unfold. And even if it was just for a day, even if it was just for a number of hours, you got to watch them be themselves, and it's just sad to me. Like genuinely just sad, and I love this soundtrack. Like I think it's just it works so, like really well like emotionally. So I think it's like a easy S tier for me. Uh, uh, where to put it though? We'll go below Sunset, but I really like Dream Watchers. Like it just it's another one of those that really just hit home for me. Weak Flowers hits even harder. It's the same melody, but it's with Flowery's death, and Flowery was my favorite flower, and he's not just turning back into a flower, like he's actually dying right after that insanely cool battle with the Night, which also contributes to my feelings on Flower Man, by the way. I just love how Flower Man is used in the final battle with the Night, and it's just like even though Flowery can't actually hurt the Night, it's just, it's just he tried his best and then he died for it, and then Weak Flower is just like Ralph Say trying to heal him because he's come around to liking him, and it's just a really cool moment between the two, and it's just he's like warning them that their future path is going to be paved in darkness, but he believes in them and he's not going to come back. But it's too bad. But man, he's just such a heartfelt and cool character, so subversive, so amazing to me. I love him. I love Flowery. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the game. Hard to say. I don't think he's my favorite character in the game, but he's definitely up there. Like he's definitely my favorite antagonist of them all. I still need more context on the Knight to really decide if they're my favorite, but as far as like my favorite antagonists that have been fully fleshed out, Flowery easily tops him. Like he's so well written. Like his songs are freaking peak, like perfect, basically. I love him. Like I love this character. Like he's so cool. This one hits even harder than Dream Watchers for me. I might be glazing it a little too hard. I might be putting it a little too high. I just feel really strongly about Flowery. Like that's the song that I feel the least strongly about is Your Dad's Best Friend, because that's like the more memey side of him, which I still really like. I still think it's funny, but it's just like ultimately weaker than his more sincere side. But it's still cool. So I'm still gonna put an A. Walking Home is like the third Noel themes, like Noel centric soundtrack. But even though Noel is not actually present for the scene, it's really heartfelt while Chris and Susie are just walking home, and then it's like Susie explains like how they can't just have adventures together anymore, and they need to get Noel involved because things are getting serious. And I think it's like ultimately a really cool, like it's like a pivotal moment in the story just at the very end. So I think it works really well. I think the soundtrack is sad. It works really well. I don't think it's as good as like um I don't think it worked as well for me as like The Place Where It Rained, because that goes so hard with the title and like the way it's composed and stuff. But Walking Home is really cool. So we're gonna find The Place Where It Rained. Where is it? Hmm. The Place Where It Rained. It has to be somewhere. Unless I put it really low, which I don't know why I would have done that. I kind of forget where I put it. If I can't find it, then I'll just put it where I would actually put it, regardless of where the other one is. Yeah. Okay. So I think it works pretty well in context. I'm gonna put it in A plus. Uh, I think that's a good. I think this is a good spot for it. I enjoy it. We have two left. So Field of Hopes and Dreams credits version. It was kind of funny how this song was inaccurately named Scarlet Forest at first, but yeah, Field of Hopes and Dreams, pretty cool piano soundtrack. I think it works really well, and like this could really work for the ending of any chapter, but I think it works really well for chapter 5 because it's like kind of a callback to chapter 1, and now the fun is over and the serious stuff begins as soon as chapter 6 starts. But yeah, this one is enjoyable. I really like the cutscene with Susie, just sleeping in the castle town, and then it's just like they're also building a room for Noel, and it's just it works really well in my opinion. Like I think that it's like just heartfelt to see that, okay, Noelle's finally going to join the adventures, even though there's only 2 chapters left. I think it's going to be pretty cool for the 2 chapters that we get with her as like in the party. And Ralsei might leave, which is kind of unfortunate, but we've gotten 5 chapters with Ralsei and only one with Noelle, so it's time to have another one with Noelle. But yeah, this one is cool. I like it. Let's go maybe S tier. Uh, it's definitely. Uh, I think that ultimately I like Never Ending Night slightly more because I think that one just goes harder overall, being like the being like a dark sanctuary motif, which I love all those songs with the motif, and like the ending section with like the Gaster text it goes so hard, which chapter 5 did not have in it. Instead has that cinematic cutscene, but this one's really cool. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of S, but yeah, it's really nice. Now we have Good Night, Sweet Prince. I admit I haven't heard this one very much because it's not in the actual game, but yeah, I think it works. I think it works pretty well for what it is too. Like it's heartfelt. It's just Flowery is a nice character to me, and it applies more to Ralsei obviously in this instance, but it's just like you know Flowery's dynamic with Ralsei was really cool. So yeah, definitely close to the top of it. I think yeah, overheating Mew Magic. So yeah. Let's see. I might rearrange them in a bit. Yeah, that is, and sorry if I was a little anxious to leave, but yeah, that's Deltarune chapters 1 through 5 over the course of multiple months. I have ranked all of these, and I've gotten rid of A minus because that's kind of redundant and like a little annoying, just to give an excuse to put more songs in A tier. So we're gonna give B tier a bit of spotlight because I think B tier is kind of underrated. I think B tier songs are still ultimately okay, but they didn't really do it for me very much. Um, let's see if I'd put any of these higher or lower. I think the ones that I put in this tier kind of are fine in this tier. When I Get Mad, I Dance Like This is nothing special. Uh, we'll put it here. Um, I don't really have anything else to say. I think everything else is just kind of fine. So yeah, let's see if there's any like jarring changes I would make in here. I like 12 a.m. a lot more than 13 a.m. Uh, I actually like 12 a.m. a decent amount more now than I used to. Um, but we'll put it there. Let's see. I think Ripple's still pretty good. Sorry, pretty good. I think I might put it in A plus. I think I ultimately have like a pretty high opinion of Ripple. I think it's really nice. It's just like a it's just like a really cool like I don't really know how to describe it. Just like beat. It's a good beat. It slaps. I wish I could describe more about it, but it is very late at night for me. But yeah, Ripple's pretty cool. Um, I don't think I like it that much more than I used to, but I like it a little bit more. So like I don't know. I don't know where the heck I don't know what the heck I'm doing to some of these songs. Hang on. Ripple, I think ultimately deserves to go like I don't know, a little higher, maybe. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put Powers Combined a little lower. I don't think Powers Combined is as good as I gave it credit for. Yeah, Powers Combined is a little lesser than I said it was originally. Uh, Although this still holds up pretty well with my current opinion. Not gonna change really that many of these at all. Uh, the Legend is probably S tier for me now. I really like it now. I'm not gonna put it that much higher though. We'll go. We'll go here. Actually, here with it. I enjoy the legend. Um, let's see. Dark Sanctuary. I think I would definitely put Dark Sanctuary higher. Than I would have like when I made the chapter 4 video. Uh, actually, a lot higher. Genuinely S plus. Is it better than Second Sanctuary? In my opinion, no. I think I'd put it there, but my opinion on Dark Sanctuary has definitely gone up a lot. I used to just think it was like the worst Sanctuary theme, but like still really good. And then now I think it's like really, 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 really good. So I think that's like I think that's a pretty good spot for it. As far as the Toby Fox tier goes, I think I genuinely want to put not only put the third Sanctuary in Toby Fox tier, but I also want to put it above most of these. So Third Sanctuary has definitely grown on me even more, which is kind of surprising to say because it was already like top 5 in the game, but now it is really, 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 really grown on me. I just love how it's composed in like basically every single way. I love just like all the cool stuff it does with time signatures and gets a lot of people learning about them. So it's a very impactful track in so many ways. It's very emotionally resonant in the story. I do still ultimately prefer Flower Man and Big Shot, but Third Sanctuary, it is the third place. And Attack of the Killer Queen, I feel like my opinion of Attack of the Killer Queen may have gone down slightly. I do think it is still ultimately a really, 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 really good song, but I might have glazed it a little too hard. I think I would definitely put it lower now. I don't like. I think my opinion of the song has kind of just like a lot of the stuff I said about it in the chapter 2 video still stands because it is really good. Like, don't get that wrong. Like, I'm not gonna put it that much lower. I'm still gonna put it at least in T. Um, yeah. I think yeah. I I'm definitely putting Attack of the Killer Queen a little lower. I think that's a good spot for it though. Check out my chapter 2 video if you want more thoughts, but my opinion of it has basically decreased a little bit, but I still think it's a pretty good song overall. Uh, let's see. Let me think. Black Knife, I still really like Black Knife. I'm not going to change where it is. I still really, really like TV Time. I'm not going to change where that is. Running Sky, it's hard to say if I would put Running Sky in Toby Fox tier, at least for now. It is a valid contender. In Cyber's World, I don't think is necessarily a valid contender for Toby Fox tier, but I think it deserves T tier easily. Running Sky's like the only one that might be a contender, but I don't think it's quite living. I don't think it quite holds up to these 5 specifically, but it is really, really, really awesome. TV World, I still kind of have the same opinion. I still kind of have the same opinion of like a lot of these songs. These still hold up, except World Revolving. My opinion of World Revolving is definitely decreased. I'm not a big fan of it. It's still good. I think I would put it, but I would definitely put it a lot lower. Like I think I would put it definitely an A plus for sure. Top we'll go top of A plus. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is. I think it is pretty good. I think there's some really enjoyable parts of it. I think it ultimately deserves A plus overall. So yeah, that's definitely gone down quite a bit. These songs, I think that my opinion of Castle Funk has only continued to go up. I really, 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 really enjoy Castle Funk a lot. Yeah, definitely more than My Castle Town. So yeah, I think that this is one I definitely want to put higher. I don't think I want to put it in T tier. I don't think it quite deserves that, but yeah, we'll go above Dark Zone. I really like Castle Funk. Chaos King, it's pretty good as it's good where I've placed it. Smart Race, Rakuji Buster, My Castle Town. I think all these places are still pretty accurate to my thoughts and feelings. Um, Let's see. These are also still pretty accurate. I don't think I would really change them that much. Uh, yeah, these are all still pretty accurate. I don't see anything that's like actively, against my thoughts and feelings. Chapter 5 logo, I'd probably still leave it there. I don't think I would change where I don't think I would change that place. Um, let's see. I'm telling I would leave it there. Northern Light above fanfare, but not above anything else. Yep, I think that this is a pretty good examination of my overall thoughts and feelings on the soundtrack. So, yeah, let me know what you agree and disagree on. Thanks, Rich Connor GMN, for the template. Uh, sorry if I sound a little tired. I definitely am, but I really like Chapter 5 soundtrack. As far as the soundtrack ranking, I think that my least favorite of the soundtracks is still ultimately maybe chapter 1. Now, I would have said it was chapter 3 last time, and like that is still kind of true in a way, but I feel like chapter 3 has a couple highs that are higher than chapter 1, which the highest high in chapter 1 was Field of Hopes and Dreams. Um, I think that like, and it also has TV World and Rooter Buster and Raise Up Your Bat. So honestly, my opinion of the chapter 3 soundtrack has honestly gone up a lot from what it was in the past. So yeah, honestly, I think chapter 1 is my pick for the weakest soundtrack. It still has a lot of really cool and memorable songs, but I honestly kind of prefer chapter 3 soundtrack. As far as the thumbnail for my chapter 3 video goes, I might change it to reflect my change in opinion. Maybe it's been there for a while, so I don't think anyone would really care. But and like I guess I do have to give chapter 1 some credit for having like really really awesome songs and just like a more nostalgic feel compared to chapter 3, which like has a lot of songs with kind of the same motif, and yeah, it's like a little more boring in chapter 3 overall, but still really really well executed. So maybe they're more in like the same place. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Then chapter 2, I think chapter 2 is pretty memorable. The DJ songs are kind of just there, but I don't really mind them that much either. I don't really mind the DJs as much as most people do. I really like I really like a lot of soundtracks in general. There's obviously Attack of the Killer Queen and A Cyber's World and Big Shot. Those are all still really 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 awesome. There's also Pandora Palace. It's also up there for me. Then chapter 5. Chapter 5 is my second favorite soundtrack. Flower Man is a big reason for that. There's also Running Sky and Garden of Hopes and Dreams. So yeah, I really really enjoy chapter 5 soundtrack. I think that the soundtrack and the visuals were definitely some of the highlights for chapter 5 for me, and also Flowery and Aqua and the platforming gimmick. Those were definitely the highest highs of chapter 5 for me personally. Uh, yeah, I mean the story was okay overall, and just little small downgrade from chapter 4 in my opinion. Uh, but maybe chapter 6 will make me feel differently. But yeah, that is and then obviously my favorite soundtrack is still chapter 4. I think chapter 4 just they really 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 cooked, especially with like Third Sanctuary. Like there's so many songs in chapter 4 that are just like really 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 like close to the top for me. Like now maybe there might not actually be that many, but like, I still think that overall chapter 4, like the quality of chapter 4 soundtrack just kind of exceeds all the other chapters. So yeah, that's how I would rank every song in Deltarune. I don't think I have any current changes to this, any more changes to this, but I think yeah, this still pretty much holds up. Yeah, that's I don't really have anything else to say. See you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed my really controversial ranking. Yeah.